So these are our hay-powered heaters, and while they obviously eat hay and generate body heat, it helps keep this barn quite a bit warmer than the outside temperatures. It also produces a byproduct for us though, and that byproduct is what I'm standing on right here. Hey everyone, we just want to remind you, the $250 gift card giveaway with All American Clothing is ending on January 30th at midnight. Don't forget to go enter and win, and make sure that you're supporting American-made products. It's hard to live in a country that makes things if you don't buy them. So you all have some questions about sheep and bedding. I'm going to show you what works well on our farm here in South Central Missouri and why it works so well for us. Think she remembers how to start it? How to run it? Does it say glow? Okay. She does remember. Now that Christy's got the skid steer going, she's going to put the bucket on it. While she's doing that, I'm going to get this tractor fired up. This is an Allis Chalmers 8030, and that's what we use to spread our manure. And we use a Kelly Ryan 16-foot by 6-foot manure spreader. It's from the 70s. I don't know the exact model of it. I just know the dimensions. Fired up pretty good. I'm happy about that, considering how cold it was last night. Back up. Now, yep. And while you're going up, you also need to tilt back. There you go. Kind of self-explanatory. Just need to get all the old stuff out so that we can take all this new stuff and spread it in. With this old stuff coming out is a bit of everything. Urine, manure, residue from the hay that they've dropped on the ground, and obviously old sawdust that has absorbed that urine and kind of powdered that manure. this is what the old bedding looks like. And you can see it almost looks like dirt now, mainly because in here is obviously a lot of manure, urine, hay residue, and of course the sawdust that we use for bedding. Now the sawdust we use for bedding is an oak sawdust. And the reason it's an oak sawdust is because oak is very plentiful where we live here in South Central Missouri, and the sawmills have pretty abundant supply of it. Now, the difference between the two though is this. So when I squeeze that, see how it kind of clumps up and it's staying together? Well, that's not a bad thing. That means there's enough moisture in it that when I drop this, notice how there's nothing that floats. It all just falls down. Sawdust is and can be great bedding, but if it's too dry, it creates a very dusty, dry, it creates a very dusty and harmful environment. It'll actually kill the animals, give them some respiratory diseases, pneumonia, etc. Just like if you or I were to breathe in dust all day, obviously it's bad for us. But these guys can come running through here, which you're going to see here shortly because we're about to let them back in. Also, disregard the lumpiness. We don't spread it perfectly smooth. We don't spread it nice and even for a few reasons. Number one, these guys drag their feet everywhere they go, and they're going to spread it around for us no matter what. We actually used to spend a lot of time getting it all perfectly level and making sure it's the exact same depth everywhere. Now we've kind of learned that if we just get all of it covered, we get it all at least a 2-inch base layer, and then as long as there's enough there to spread in that area, they'll end up spreading it on their own. Another odd question we get is, what about when they give birth? Doesn't the sawdust stick to them? And actually, yeah, it does a little bit. Our moms don't seem to mind. They still lick it off, they get the baby cleaned up, and there's really no issues with it. Occasionally, when it's really frigid cold, like it actually was around Christmas time, like frigid, like when it was -40 with the wind chill, highly unusual temperatures here and highly unusual weather completely. Those babies that were born those couple of nights when it was that bad, they actually did have the sawdust froze to them because it was so cold that mom couldn't even clean them off before their, the moisture that was on them from birth had frozen. And at that point, it did freeze some of the sawdust to them. So they walked around with sawdust for about a week or so, and then it did get cleaned off of them, whether I assume mom did it because nobody's out here brushing them. Damn it. There was a lamb I didn't want to hit. All right, everybody's in. Let's go, everybody in. Come on. That's all of them. You two go in too. Go on. Get. All right, so as creepy as this is, I picked up some of the sheep manure from outside. It's still warm and not fun to hold, so we're gonna get on with this. All I'm gonna do is drop it in the sawdust. Now, as you can see, if I just pick it right back up, it's already got a bunch of it stuck to the bottom of it. And what happens is they're walking around, running around, etc. It starts to get caked in it. Now, once it's caked in it, like that, even if they wander around in here and they're stepping on it and everything else, look, it doesn't stick to my hands. It's not mushy, or sorry, it's not being mushed all over inside their hooves, essentially. Now, without the sawdust, I didn't bring any extra in, but without that sawdust, it would, and it would get crushed in there, and then it'd be getting packed in their hooves and stuff like that. But you can see right here, I can squish it between my hands and everything else. Nothing. It's all gonna be stuck in there. It's not gonna be stuck in their hooves. Now, this is the creep feed setup that the lambs get to kind of have an endless supply. You get to have an endless supply of grain, and it's sized so that only lambs can fit in there. It's pretty tight squeeze as far as any of the adult ewes getting in there, or the rams. Can't remember. We actually show how we made this on a YouTube video if you're curious about the measurements. Hi, PJ. I'm trying to see the babies, not you. I don't have your baby. You took too long. That's going to be it for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope it kind of explained a little bit of why we do our bedding a certain way and the benefits of it. If you subscribe to the channel, or if you just stay tuned to it and see our next video, our next one is actually going to depict what we do with the old manure and how it still benefits our farm. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you next time.